What is up, Cinders? Welcome back to Chicken Cindy's. We got a pretty cool hardtail we're going to talk about today. This right here is the 2025 Giant Talon 1. And honestly, for the specs that this bike comes with at $1,000, that's the MSRP, I really think this is a pretty cool bike and a really good option for a beginner mountain biker or someone that's looking for a fairly easy project bike to upgrade. We're going to kind of get into details of that why here in a little bit, but first I just really want to go over the specs and kind of talk about why I really like this bike the way it is. The first thing we're going to talk about is this drivetrain. It's a very nice 1x10 drivetrain. You got your typical square taper bottom bracket up front here. So if you wanted to save a little bit of weight in the long run, you can easily swap that out for a Holotech style if you wanted to. To get you going, you'll be fine with it to start with. It's not an issue at all. It's a pro wheel. I've ran these quite a few times and I think they're nice for the money. This is really the first time I've seen the Shimano Qs. A lot of people are comparing this specific drivetrain to the Shimano Deore. They're pretty close in the sense of price range, but they're kind of marketing the Qs, and a lot of the reviews I was seeing, the Qs is more of a kind of like all-out drivetrain for more options of things, where the Deore is more like mountain bike oriented. I've heard that they both shift well. It is a clutch derailleur for you, so you have your clutch on. Well, your clutch is on when it's up, sorry. And then when you put it down, your clutch is off. So we'll put that back in the on, but it's still a really nice 1x10 and you get a 48 tooth in the rear. So, I mean, that's really going to help you with quite a few climbs. I mean, there's not going to be many climbs that you're not going to be able to make with a 48 tooth. Maybe if you're not in like the best of shape, that might kind of affect you. But when it comes with the drivetrain itself, I mean, this is going to be really close to on par with the Microchip Advent X, which I'll put a link here to a video I've done on that not too long ago, which I'm a huge fan of. This drivetrain seems promising and it looks great. So I'm a big fan of 1x10s, a little bit cheaper of a chain. You still get the nice wide range as well. So drivetrain, in my opinion, for this bike is great. You could buy this and you shouldn't have to upgrade it, ride it till it breaks and have a good time with it. So drivetrain is definitely awesome in my opinion. Some very nice Maxxis Tanwall Recon races. You got front and back 29 by 2.4. What a great tire. And this darker Tanwall looks wonderful on this blue frame. And let's like appreciate this blue frame for a second. It is absolutely a gorgeous frame. I mean, it's just a very cool, like I don't even like blue raspberry. I mean, it's just awesome. It's definitely an eye turner. And that's like what I noticed first when I saw this at the bike shop, my local bike shop here in town, Pilson's Pedal Works. I'll put a little logo here. If you live around Mattoon and you're wanting this bike's actually for sale. So thank you, Pilsons, for allowing me to bring this to the coop and kind of go over it with you and show it off, because I do really think this bike's awesome. But yeah, some Recon races, front and rear. Definitely a cross-country styled oriented hardtail. It's going to be fast. It's going to just pedal and go. I mean, very, very cool. Kind of like Rocket in my opinion. But for the tires that this come with, great tires. I love that. Get these, ride these and have a great time. Let's do a hub check real quick and just see what it sounds like. Nothing crazy. It's a nice hub. I'll put what kind of wheels these are here. I'm not sure if they're just like Giant proprietary or what they are in the sense of the brand, but I'll put a little link here, but that sounds like a nice hub. Let's go up to I want to show you the dropper post, because I really think this dropper post is cool, and I'll explain why in a second. I want to show you real quick. Got a real nice BMW dropper post remote. This is not your typical lever remote that comes with this. The manager over at Pilson's, Quentin, kind of had this lying around, so he threw this on the bike. The tan on that actually matches the tan wall on these tires perfect. So this is a nice little upgrade he did. He took the original one off. So if you end up snagging this bike, you'll get that, which is pretty cool in my opinion. But this dropper post is interesting. A typical dropper post is telescopic in the sense of when you push the remote or the lever, you could let go of it and you can like stop it midway. But with this, if you push the remote, when you actuate it, you'll see that the remote is still floppy. And basically the way this one works is it like locks into place. So you can't lock it in the middle. So that's kind of interesting. So when you go down, you can see the dropper remote. But what that kind of does is that allows this to be super fast. So it's a super fast dropper post. And it's just kind of interesting. So like I said, when it's in the middle, you can't stop it like a normal dropper post. And I've never seen one like this before. I don't know if this is something new. I don't know if this is only Giant, so that's kind of interesting. But if that is something that you've seen or had on your bike, let me know in the comments, because I thought that was really neat. And I mean, like, the thing is, like, make sure you want this up before you put it up, because if you're not paying attention, it's gonna leave a mark. But man, that is so cool. I love that. And it's actually super satisfying when you're riding, and because like if you're putting your weight on it, you just click your dropper, whereas as opposed to holding it, so sometimes you can hold it and like let go of it, and you won't get the full travel. So I really like that. Now I don't know what the like if you ever have to work on this dropper post or something like that, but I mean, that's really cool. I love that. Now we're gonna come up front and kind of talk about what's up here, okay? This bike comes with a through axle 15x110 front wheel, which a lot of budget hardtails don't typically come with that. And now it's gonna be compared to a lot of bikes that are less than this. And really, this is one of those things to keep in mind, because when you're looking at bikes that are typically less than like the $800, $700 range, a lot of the time you're gonna be getting a quick release, not a through axle. So it's pretty cool that this one comes with a through axle, because a lot of people, the very first thing they're gonna wanna do when they buy this bike, this is just the mountain bike mentality, is upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. As soon as you buy it, you wanna upgrade stuff, okay? This fork is one of the, honestly, I'd probably say the only thing that holds back this bike. Now, if you are a beginner, you will buy this bike and you will be set. You will be absolutely fine, in my opinion. And this fork, it's a coil fork, it's not an air fork. It's gonna work, it's gonna function. You'll be okay there. It's got some pretty good sized stanchions. So, I mean, it's gonna really take anything that you put in its way, okay? As mentioned, I mean, it's a cross country bike, right? So you don't have a ton of travel up front. It's a hardtail, so it's gonna be nice and fast. But this fork is something that's going to hold it back. I'm pretty sure it's tapered. So we're gonna take this off, and because I wanna see if it's a sealed bearing or what kind of bearing is up in this for that. Because as I was mentioning, if you decide to try to upgrade this bike down the road, a lot of times you're gonna want to upgrade to a form of tapered. And then when you do that, you're gonna have to get a through axle fork. And this is from years of experience of upgrading bikes and things like that, okay? So I'm just trying to show off this bike, and like, I wanna talk about all the things I like about this bike, but some of you people are going to be buying this and upgrading it. So it's just one of those things. And I kinda wanna get all the what ifs and questions out of the way in this video as well. So let's drop this fork and take a look and see if it is tapered or not. Because if it's tapered already, you're not gonna have to get a new headset either. So, I mean, there's some pretty cool things to mention here. So let's take a look at this fork, take this off, and see what we got under the hood. This is what I was really wanting to see. And as you can see, it is in fact a tapered head tube, but it does have just the kind of a regular cage bearings. It doesn't have sealed bearings. So this will work absolutely fine. Keep it greased, keep it on at that kind of a situation. And it's very nicely greased is what it looks like. Getting this crown race is gonna kind of not be super fun. Typically you could put a flathead in this little kind of like opening and pry it off, but it might give you a little bit of an issue. But it's good to know this. So this is in fact a tapered fork. So that's great, I love that. And yeah, makes it just that much easier to upgrade down the road. You can still use the same headset and all that stuff to save you a little bit more money there. So let's get it back assembled and we'll finish kind of touring the bike. More so into the cockpit now, okay? You have some nice Tektro hydraulic brakes. They feel absolutely fine. They feel good. Hydraulic brakes are great. I mean, you get Tektro, which is a well-known brand. Of course, these brakes are going to be a little bit cheaper than your normal brand of brakes, or nicer brand of brakes, I should say. But these Tektros will work. And again, for the style of riding you're most likely going to be doing on this bike, you should be fine. So stem, handlebars, all look pretty good. I'm pretty sure these are 35 millimeters. Let me check. I lied to you, they are 31/8, so typical size handlebars, which are absolutely fine. Nice beefy stem there. So, I mean, everything cockpit-wise will be absolutely fine for your biking. I really do like this bike quite a bit. Between the way it looks, the tapered fork up front already, the through axle in the front, the through axle in the rear, the dropper post, 1x10 drivetrain, there is a lot about this bike that is a really cool bike in my opinion for the price. I absolutely love it. The Maxxis Recon races, I mean, are gonna be about perfect for what this bike is intended for. And there's, I mean, a lot that this bike is gonna do for you. The only two real things that I think are bad, which, I mean, this is gonna be really just personal preference for the amount of riding, you know, that I've done and the kind of riding I do, but this fork being a coil fork, but I mean, finding any $1,000, sub $1,000 bike with not a coil fork is very hard to do. And then the square taper. I really wish they would have done something different with that in the sense of like a Holotech style. Square tapers and me don't get along really well. It should be fine. Just make sure that this bolt stays tightened. If that loosens, it kind of, for lack of a better word, like wallers out the crank arm itself, because the square taper is a harder metal than the actual crank arm, and you might have to either A, get a new crank arm, or B, lose your crank arm on the trail if you're not keeping that tight. But in its entirety, I really like this bike a ton, and there's a lot of potential here. I love how the dropper post works and actuates. I mean, it's just a very cool bike overall. I'm gonna share this real quick while I'm thinking about it. This is the medium frame. It's a 29er. I am 5 foot 10 inches with a 32-inch inseam. I get this question all the time over what size of bike and how it fits and feels. This bike fits and feels terrific for my height. I could probably do a large if I wanted to, but this medium for me, I think with the 29ers and the way it fits and feels, I really like the mediums on 29s typically, because it makes the frame smaller and more compact, so a little bit more playful, but I still get the bigger 29 tires for like rolling over objects and top speeds and keeping the speed. Okay, it's a little harder to get going with the 29er, but now that I've rode a 27.5 for a while as well for my Giant, my full suspension Giant, I've really come to like enjoy 27.5 and 29 tires. But typically I really like 29 tires on a little bit smaller of a frame. But even though me saying that, I don't feel cramped. I feel very nice where everything's set right now. It rides great, it feels great, it shifts wonderfully, the brakes feel great, and just overall, I mean, this is just a really nice bike in my opinion. The P&W dropper remote, obviously not stock, but is a pretty cool addition to this. And you know, that's just a nice little add-on. So you got internal cable routing. I really like this bike a lot. If there's any questions over this bike you have, put them down in the comments, please. I'll try to answer them as best I can over it. But no, I just kind of wanted to go over this bike, and like I said, for the price and what it is, I think it's awesome. So let me know, do you have one of these? What do you think? Do you have one of the other Talons? Because there's 2 more that are cheaper than this. I believe the next step down is 800, which still has a through axle in the front. And then the next step down is 600, and that has a quick release in the front, but a through axle in the rear. So it's still pretty cool there. So yeah, I think this bike has a ton of potential. But like I said, any questions, put them down in the comments. Other than that, I appreciate you guys all tuning in, and until next time, everybody take care.